recording.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Shonen Speak Easy. It is Call Me L.Q and my co-host.
Sorry, y'all, what's up?
Today I want to brag about how accurate I was on guessing everything in the Game Awards because I told y'all who was going to win in almost every damn category. And I think I got one wrong. But I think it was because it was a category. No, I told y'all which categories I didn't give a shit about. I got one wrong. But the other ones that didn't go the way that I voted, obviously I didn't care about those categories at all. But god damn it, we're here. I didn't get to watch it live. I was out. I told y'all I was out, so I didn't even get to stream that night, which sucked. I really wish that I could have streamed. I want to be Celeste soon. But how's everything going, Claude? They haven't heard from you in a minute.
It's going pretty good. I don't know. Life's been busy. It's the holidays. I have been traveling a lot just to see family. It's exhausting. Love all of them, but damn. Yeah, no, a lot of traveling, a lot of stuff like that. Pretty busy, just like every holiday. Also,
Yeah, lots of money to spend. God damn.
yeah, Black Friday it happened.
Lucky. I didn't get to do that on Black Friday.
It wasn't, none of the gifts were for me. So it's don't they weren't for me. So yeah, I'm putting together a computer for a family member, and they got like a new 4070. Yeah, super. The latest AMD CPUs, motherboards, new tower, liquid cooling, fastest RAM. I'm like, yeah, this would have been, yeah.
Just killing it.
Yeah, I was very jealous.
Speaking of beautiful setups, it was the gaming awards had the presentation. When I watched the recap, it actually looked really nice. I kind of wish I could have watched it, but the wings I had were worth not seeing it. That's the only real excuse I got. The wings and the music was kind of worth it. I'm not a club person, so I will say though, very excited. If I ran a parlay for this award show, everybody that would have bet on me to be right would have hit. Everybody would have got paid, but I don't really gamble and I don't know how to set that shit up. So
it's also illegal in some states.
we ain't gonna get into that. We don't care about that part.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, so here are the winners compared to what my vote was and also to my expectations, and then we'll go over each category and then we'll wrap it up with the highs and lows from the trailers and all that good stuff. So, the big one, because for some stupid reason, they always put the award of the night first. Game of the year went to Astrobot. Your boy chose Balatro as who I wanted to win. Wait, what about Black Myth?
I had Black Myth Wukong as winning, so I was completely wrong.
Oh, that's yeah. All. I 100%... I wish, you know what I should have done? I should have pulled the clips of who I voted for beforehand, but it's okay. If anybody cares, they can go back and watch the episode. I 100% said that this game was going to win hands down and that there was almost no competition. It was a runaway. It wasn't a two-man race. I wanted it to be a two-man race between Astrobot and Balatro, and I also told people that I wasn't worried about Elden Ring winning at all because I didn't think it held a candle to Astrobot. So was I pissed it was nominated? Yes, but I was only mad at the nomination. I knew it had no chance to win. But yeah, I'm pleased. I ain't mad. One, I like being right. Two, I think it deserves it. So, Game of the Year Astrobot, congratulations, PlayStation. You got another hit on your hands.
I personally don't play games like Astrobot. So for me personally, I'm like, But if people keep telling me Astrobot is essentially PlayStation's Mario, I guess.
Yeah, it's probably I will go on record and say it's arguably the best platformer since Super Mario Odyssey. And I think Super Mario Odyssey is one of the greatest video games of all time.
Is that the one where he's in New York?
Yep.
Yeah,
he's in it for one of the worlds. Oh, good God! Come on, man.
I don't play platformers, bro. I play spreadsheet games.
That is very true.
Someone download Victoria 3 and tell me how fast you uninstall it.
Yeah, that's fair.
People fucking hate that game. But yeah. That's hey, that's a pretty big game. I remember it being announced. It was a big deal. So if that was the level, if it was better than that, it makes sense that it won.
Yeah.
100%.
So on to the next best game direction. Surprisingly, this is the one I got wrong. Astrobot was the winner again, knocking it out of the park. I said that it had a good chance to win. I not only voted for Metaphor Refantasio, I chose Metaphor to actually win. I said that there was the dark horse would be Elden Ring, but since it was a DLC, it was very hard for it to happen because it was already established in its direction. But yeah, this is the
Yeah.
category I got wrong. Game direction of Astrobot once again earned it. I'm not mad. For all
I Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna explain it for the sports people. Um, Basically, this is like giving out the MVP award and Offensive Player award. So I kind of thought that Refantasio had the edge there because as we all know, quarterbacks lead for MVP, but then anybody that's good on offense can win. Can win offensive player. So game direction to me usually is the offensive player type award. Like, are you good at designing and having a direction of where you want to lead the game? Yes, but did you have the press? Did you have the scores and all that stuff to back it up? They did, but not enough to take it over Astrobot. So Astrobot won it, and I'm not mad at it at all.
Yeah, and I'm not reading what is what they're considering outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. That is what they put as their definition.
Yeah, and I
That's
I
rough.
thought it had. So I thought Astrobot would had a good chance to win because of the direction of the game, like to have like this semi nostalgic field and be a 3D platformer that had really innovative boss fights that kind of some of them echo Shadow of Colossus, the other ones were more like Super Mario Odyssey, but it was the design that I thought was going to push Refantasio over the edge. So it honestly was a toss up, but yeah, I was clearly wrong. I was wrong.
I, yeah, I think if I had to predict for this, I'm gonna predict average already. I think I honestly would have said it's actually Astro or I actually think Balatro probably should have won that.
Yeah,
Because Black Myth Wukong is just Dark Souls. Elden Ring is a DLC, so it's just not gonna get votes for that. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a remake. I don't care if it's different. I don't care if it's in the same system. It's the
same.
same story. It's not creative. Uh, Refantasio, great art and story, but as far as game design and innovation, it's like Persona, but in a different world. So I think Balatro or Astrobot. I actually would have put Balatro though, just because they made cards so fun. But hey, props to Astrobot for winning that one too.
Yeah, and I had that's I think on that one I actually voted for Metaphor. I thought Balatro had a decent shot, but I already knew the issue was going to be it's a card game, so I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some people are like that, but
Some people were still pissed about that too. So I
yeah,
wasn't too
either way,
far. I wasn't too far off on my guess for that one.
yeah. All right. Well, next we got best narrative. I'll just lead on this one. What was it? What was the competition on this one? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. The story's been told before, so I'm automatically disqualifying that, even if it was really good.
Same.
But it's been told. It's been told before. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I think the Like a Dragons have some cool stories, um, and they're pretty funny and fun.
Absolutely. I'm in total
But
agreement there.
I don't know if they're like on the level of like epic. Like if we're really in like best narrative as an epic, I don't think they're like in like a funny slapstick way kind of epic. Then there's Metaphor who won, and I'll go circle back to them. Cinema Saga Hellblade. The Hellblade games have a crazy story, crazy crazy narrative on like schizophrenia and everything. If you ever played
Mm-hmm.
one, it's actually really creepy to play one. Um, but they're really short. The games are really short. And
Yeah.
I think that's a negative. Silent Hill 2, don't know shit about Silent Hill, don't do scary. So I can't really speak on it. So,
So for me, Silent Hill 2 and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, I did say this in the other podcast.
oh
They
yeah,
have
they're
the same
remakes.
issue. They're both remakes.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's right.
it was already out the door. Um since it was Saga Hellblade 2, this is to me this is funny because I made the point that there's nothing really different about 2 that makes it as astounding as 1 was. Cause like now you've already dove into this entire journey of love, loss, mental health, and mental decay. So when you dive back into it, and mind you, I haven't played the whole game, but I've watched some of the story. But when you go back into this, you deal with like similar plot points. So that takes away from it being the best narrative. Like the best narrative usually
Yeah,
is driving is like a driving force and very gripping from beginning to end. And I said there's only 2 that actually could win. I was glad Like a Dragon got nominated, deserved it. I watched Kim play it, great story. The parts where it's
yeah,
serious, it's very serious. The parts where it's just being humorous, it's good. It's a great balance. It's very much a drama,
yeah,
a comedy drama. Metaphor, the I man, 10 hours in, it was to me 10 hours in, it was the best story of the whole year. I wasn't even worried about anybody else like getting close to winning. Big ups to Metaphor.
yeah. Now, if yeah, it's a long game, which can be kind of maybe put off, but the the story I've beaten Metaphor, and I can confidently say the twists are great. The story is great. The themes and the it's all great, and it's definitely like probably top three game all time for me. So
Damn.
just for the story, just because I actually yeah, I said I was gonna hold my ranking until I finished the game. Yeah, definitely top three, 100%. Just never played the Personas, but if you haven't played Metaphor, it is a long game, but the story is awesome in a lot of ways. So
Hell yeah.
as someone who finished that game, and I did see Kim play Like a Dragon, which is also Like a Dragon to me would have been second to win this
Yeah.
because
That
two of these are remakes. I don't think they should. Fuck no. To be fair,
we got the exact same idea on this one.
yeah. Um, and then so yeah, that I mean, metaphor makes sense. What's next? Best art direction.
Yeah. I said that this one
This,
was heads. I said that there was no competition for Metaphor in art direction except for Astrobot. But Astrobot reminded quite a few people of Little Big Planet in design, and that's the
mhm,
reason why I gave the nod to Metaphor. Neva is a beautiful game. It is one of the best games I've played this year. It is one of the best stories I've played without Honestly, I take it back. It's the best story I've ever played without dialogue. It explains everything that you need to through the environment, through the narrative itself. Neva is incredible. It's a top tier game. Very glad I played it. I knew it wasn't being Metaphor in art direction though. Like it's
yeah,
never
bro.
Neva is a beautiful Neva is like a beautiful painting, and then Metaphor's like the entire art museum. it's it's amazing shit. Like it really is very well designed, and the art direction is great.
I've never played a single Persona, but even I've seen artwork, and I'm like, wow, that's really good. I kind of want to play this game. And
Right?
it's their style. I mean, this company has what they do like full on like anime cutscenes. They take art pretty seriously. Even the animations in their video game are like as good as a top tier anime studio.
Yep.
So yeah, no, it's yeah, I'm not shocked. If your art if your menu art looks good enough to be a wallpaper, as you said, I think that's pretty insane.
That was literally my first impression. That was my very first impression of the game too. I was amazed by the pause menu. Like
Yeah.
nobody should be. You know, like people go back to 007. They're like, man, that pause menu music was banging. No, the pause menu on mute was one of the coolest things I had ever seen. So yeah, well
Yeah.
deserved Metaphor.
Yeah, 100%. And then, okay, this next one I also got right in my guess because there's kind of never a competition in this one.
Yeah,
Best score in music.
bro,
Let's be
they
honest.
got a whole fucking symphony, bro. This,
Yeah.
I think this one was one of the shortest segments I spent, like the shortest sections I spent voting, because I was like, who cares? Final Fantasy is going to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no competition here. There's none.
Not even a diss at Astrobot Metaphor, Silent Hill, or Stellar Blade,
Yeah,
but legitimately, you can't be full symphony with like decades and decades of experience with making the best game music that ever exists.
exactly.
It is beatable, but it still hasn't been done yet.
Yeah, it hasn't been done. That was top tier. You're gonna have to put you got to put like Sonic 2 up there and take all those Prince samples and stuff that they use in order to beat that. Because there's not much else, man. Wonderful job.
it's it's yeah. That's all. If you play the Final Fantasy, you know. It's not even it makes sense. Next one is best audio design.
Your
It's
boy, your boy killed it on this one.
you
I'm
got this one right.
I got this one right, and I
Oh,
can't
that's
believe
fucking
I did.
crazy.
So this was my breakdown. I said it was either Silent
Wait,
Hill.
before
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
forever nominations are Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6,
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, which was what I picked, and then Silent Hill 2. That's all. Just wanted to let everyone know what the competition was for
Oh yeah,
Hellblade.
I got too excited on how I figured this out. I narrowed it down to two immediately. I narrowed it down to Silent Hill 2 and Hellblade 2. The reason why is because in horror games, the sensitivity of sound and the
Mm,
direction that it leads you in is usually the driving force.
that's actually
I
true. I didn't think about that.
so I believe I voted for Hellblade 2. If I didn't vote for Hellblade 2, I voted for Silent Hill 2. But I predicted that Hellblade 2 would win because of those same things that I just brought up. It's just the overall design of like dealing with schizophrenia, voices in your head, the environments changing and being sudden, and like it's a long walking journey. There's not much else to the game, so the audio on every aspect of it had to be perfect, and it was.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like horror needs good sound. It's definitely the driving force. And Hellblade is not even horror, which makes it even harder to capture that weird mix of horror slash non-horror that they're kind of half going for at the same time. Really hard to kind of put into
Yeah,
words. If you've never played Hellblade, it's weird. It's really hard to put into words. I guess it would be weird to see have schizophrenic nightmares too.
very true.
So the audio has to be really good. So good point. I have nothing to really add to it because I think I voted. I don't remember who I voted for, but I probably just voted Final Fantasy. But
Which makes
if you
sense.
yeah, but if you would look at like actual design and purpose of the game, you're definitely right. This is well earned.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, best performance. This is for voiceovers, auditory contributions from voice actors and actors alike. We got. I'm gonna just say the games because y'all not gonna know these people. Life is Strange, Double Exposure, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Star Wars Outlaws, Silent Hill 2, and Hellblade 2. I told everybody outright from the very beginning, Star Wars Outlaws isn't winning anything it's nominated for. I definitely got this right
Yeah.
with Melina Jurgens. One of the reasons why I got it right is because I don't know half the people on this list. I knew it was gonna be. I thought it was 2-man race once again between Luke Roberts and Melina Jurgens, but she put so much emotion into her performances. It's you can literally just listen to walkthroughs through the story, and you feel like you're there talking to her, or you hear her talking to herself, which is crazy. So yeah, great job.
Yeah. If I had to, I don't remember what I voted. It's kind of cop out to say, oh, I would have guessed that too. But to be quite honest with you, I think I did vote for Hellblade because, yeah, acting at voice acting as schizophrenic and having to do all those voice lines and then having to like and not just a schizophrenic who is like this person is having an active episode for like most of the
Right.
game. Like this is not like, oh, like they're on their meds and they're like well adjusted and they're doing fine. No, like this person is like having a legitimate trip, an acid trip. And, they talk like schizophrenia is a lot of people know that we're not just shitting on people who are diagnosed with schizophrenia. That is like kind of the purpose of their game. They mention it a lot of times. This is to bring awareness to schizophrenia.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy. I some serious acting skills. Like some of these, like yeah, like let's go with Star Wars Outlaws. Voice acting a Star Wars game takes skill, but you know exactly what to do. You know what people expect from you. You know what to kind of expect. Melina may honestly not have any condition, and she just is like, I have to figure out how to do this, and she kills it every time.
And
So this
that's
just
what
makes
makes it even
sense.
more impressive. It
Yeah,
genuinely makes it more impressive.
it's pretty hard to believe. Yeah, I think how Bade is pretty hard to beat in this topic. I didn't get him for audio design, but I think for performance I did vote for this because she killed it in the last one. Is the same person.
Oh, for sure.
Um, Next is innovation and accessibility. I literally won this one, but that's because I think Co-op 64 on TikTok said this game is really good at accessibility. I truly fucking had no idea. So you could leave this one if you knew anything about it.
So this one was kind of a shot in the dark, but not as much. So my thing is in innovation and accessibility. The first three things I always think of are racing games. I think of like rhythm games, and then I think of platformers. Just because just about anyone can play them. I got this one right, and it was very tough for me to get it right because I just figured, you know, that I just figured since it's a platformer, it's easier to play. That literally was my whole aspect on it. I was like, it'll be it'll be easier to get something together for a platformer, and that's it. That I had nothing else, but I did hear a lot of great
Right.
things about it, so I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah. I heard from Co-op 64 that it was good at accessibility. So I just kind of was like, yeah, I'll just vote for that. 'Cause I guess that's all I know about it. But at least you had a good reasoning and logic behind it. I always assume it's a AAA thing. When I see Prince of Persia, I'm like, it costs a lot of money to get that IP. So I felt more
You
confident.
wanna know what's funny? I just went back and saw the clip for audio design from the previous episode. I said Hellblade 2 was gonna win and voted for Astrobot. So I had the answer
Hey,
right, but just voted for Astrobot instead. It's all right.
hey,
It's whatever.
sometimes you gotta know when you want something, but reality sets in.
Yeah, you gotta know when you want something, and then just know that the game ain't gonna win.
Yeah. But this next one as
I
well.
I did also vote for Prince of Persia, by the way. I did vote for them
I,
and predicted it.
hey,
Yeah, so that one was a
hey,
good one.
same here. Got up there. This is the next one. Games for Impact. I know you've played a few of these games. I have not
It's all
played
good.
any of these,
The
so I'm
beauty
glad you got this
the
one.
beauty of it is you got to watch me play two of them.
Yeah, so
So
that's it.
I
Which is why I voted for one of the two you played.
hey, let's go. So I'll just start with Tales of Kenzara because Tales of Kenzara is actually who I think I voted for them, and then the second round of voting came out. I voted for Neva, so I did vote for both. Tales of Kenzara was one of those games that people were like, "It's a DEI game," blah, 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 and I really hated that they complained about it so much. So I played it out of spite originally, and then I got a hold of the story, and the story about loss and coming into manhood was beautiful. Like even to a point where like people that were watching me play it, I felt bad that I didn't stream it on Twitch because I remember Javi was talking to me about the game and he was like, "Hey, when are you gonna finish that game? Because I got to know how the story ends." And I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard anyone say that on Discord. Like where they just had to know how the
Fair.
story ended, and I was like, "Yo, I will definitely beat this game so you can get the closure that you want," because I wanted it too. But I figured it wasn't gonna win. This is one of the ones where I
I,
believe
I gotta interrupt you. You said closure. I was like, that sounds like a breakup. Or you
bro.
broke up with Javi.
I mean,
But anyway, it's like pause.
oh yeah,
But
no,
keep going.
no Diddy. But anyway, but I said this one was pretty much a 2-game race. Once again, it was either Never or Life is Strange. I voted for Tales of Kenzara's and Never the second round. I looking at what I guessed on here. I guessed it was either Never or Life is Strange, and I said it was a toss up. But the reason why I said it was a toss up is because Never is not as big of a game. I knew
Yeah, Life is
Indica.
Strange is huge.
Yeah,
Life is Strange is huge.
Life is Strange is huge, so I figured the voter base would lean towards it. But I said if people actually knew about Never, they would probably choose it. It was so good that I literally told my therapist about the game, and then I told my wife about the game. Like that's how great, big of an impact this story is, leading between the relationship, like building a relationship, motherhood, nature and nurture. It just all tied in so
Yeah.
well. It's a beautiful game.
I believe you. I only saw Tales of Kenzara. That's listen right now, y'all. I don't know shit about these games.
Hey, that's fair.
I know Life is Strange. There's usually some kind of like 2008 emo-esque or like coming of age girl. Looks like she's like wearing a flannel. I can have all of these. Sometimes bi, sometimes straight, maybe both all the time. I don't fucking know.
True.
So, but I know it's the biggest one, so that would probably be my guess. I voted for Tales of Kenzara because I was like, yeah, that's cool. I saw you play it. I like the story. I like the game. But yeah, you have a good argument. I never. I guess all I can say is go play Neva. It must have been pretty good.
Yeah, you got. No lie, it's one of the best stories I've ever played, especially to not have any dialogue at all. But yeah, on to the
Yeah.
next best ongoing game. I didn't give a fuck who won as long as it was Helldivers, and they definitely won. I ignored
Yeah.
any reasoning, pretty much, or any logic. I basically told everybody, I hate Fortnite, and I don't like Destiny. Helldivers for the win. And I knew it had a somewhat shaky launch. I remember the day it came out. Servers kept crashing because so many people were trying to play it at once.
Yeah.
But
That's
as the game continued, the the community is hella positive. Hella
sure.
positive. It probably is the best multiplayer community right now. But also, it was steady. There was drop off, like there is with every game, but people kept coming
Yeah.
back every single update, and they stuck around. Um,
You know, yeah. Yeah. They did. They did. I mean, you kind of, yeah, that's true. That is true. I'll
yeah.
give it to that.
Now,
I'll be honest, their competition, though, was pretty trash.
oh yeah, I mean, but I will say for Helldivers to win in for best ongoing game, I will say they had steep competition for 2 games. Uh, Destiny 2 just had some free DLC downloads, and it brought a lot of the player base back. And Fortnite is Fortnite. That's the only thing I can say. Everything else, none of it mattered. I saw people complaining about Final Fantasy 14 for some weird reason, about skins. It was very dumb. And from my own friend group, I've learned that Diablo 4 is very seasonal. People will drop it for a long time, something new comes out, or the new season starts, and then people play it again. So I knew that
Yeah.
wasn't going to win. So congrats to Helldivers 2. You earned every single award y'all got and every nomination you got too.
It's funny. I legitimately voted. Sorry, I don't remember what I voted because I didn't care. But I think if I had to pick, I'd have picked Fortnite. So I was wrong on this one for sure.
And I would have hated you.
I'm just okay.
Well,
Okay, let me tell you my logic. So you see Destiny 2? Yeah,
mm-hmm.
it's based on patches. Sure. Diablo 4, very much seasonal. You make a seasonal character. I think I actually voted for Final Fantasy, but Final Fantasy 14, whatever, same thing.
Yeah.
You beat the DLC, you beat the patch, and you quit and you come back later. Uh, Helldivers 2, it's a horde shooter. Horde shooters get stale. You come back when new content comes out. To me, all those games are the same. And then Fortnite is just battle royales. It's just crack cocaine. You just stop when you don't want to hit the crack.
That's true.
And to me, that makes it the best ongoing game because the only thing stopping you is yourself. If you like battle royale formula may change like game wise and other things wise, but the servers will never stop having them. They're just
That's
going to
true.
keep serving you the crack, and so that was why I thought it would win.
See, I
But also, Fortnite players probably don't give a shit about this award show. That's the other thing.
that's true. But also another thing, another reason which it was honestly like a real reason why I leaned into Helldivers 2, the community isn't competitive. Everybody has one goal. The whole thing about the game is propaganda and it's a big joke and everybody gets to laugh at it. Like nobody is a victim of being good at the game. Nobody is really a victim of playing with people that suck at the game. Sugging at Helldivers 2 is probably the most fun thing like about being a bad player in a game, but everybody's going to help you get better. People were literally
Yeah,
getting kicked from teams because they wanted to play metas. They were like, "We're not here for that," and they would drop those people. So to me, that was like everything I needed to know.
yeah, no. I That's a good point. That's a fair point because I don't play certain games that I suck at now that are multiplayer like that. So fair point. Maybe Fortnite was in the last place because of that. Because the rest of these are kind of co-op ish.
Yeah,
But yeah, fair point. But uh, cool. Moving on from that's an ongoing game because I know a lot of people don't care about that
yeah, that's
too
true.
much. Best community support. I'm gonna just
This,
list out all the competition, but I think I know what this was gonna be. Uh, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, No Man's Sky, and Baldur's Gate 3. And
mm-hmm.
I definitely got this prediction right.
Yeah, there was not much else to say. I said the only thing I said that would keep them from winning is they literally just won that shit last year. And then they won it again. Cause I was like, I'm voting for Helldivers 2 because of the post launch updates. But I was like, No Man's Sky is a game that's been around for damn near 10 years, so it shouldn't win and it won't win. But I already knew Baldur's Gate 3 had a beautiful chance to win it all over again, and they did. So no hate here. It's a wonderful game.
Yeah, if you consider let me read what they have as community support. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, responsiveness, inclusiveness of social media activity, and game updates and patches. Yeah, these guys literally said game studios say they can't give you good games, and they got blamed for making a game too good. And they said, "Give fuck, you should just make better games and help out the community." It's really hard to argue with these guys on that. that's their that's their outreach to like the whole industry is to just get good. And there is a bunch of other stuff. Their voice actors have like their own social media careers now. They're very involved.
That's
So as their
beautiful.
community people. Um, Final Fantasy 14 has a nice community support. Fortnite is a joke in this category because when do they ever reach out to players except for celebrities?
Yeah,
Helldivers 2, nothing notoriety wise. I mean, yeah, they have some patches and stuff, but also like their game was got into like a bit of trouble with player counts and notoriety for like kind of sucking. So yeah, they're gonna release patches. That's for gameplay. Uh
I would
No
say
Man's
the
Sky,
rebalancing is what helped me on that one.
true, rebalancing and patches matter, but I think the thing that always gives Baldur's Gate 3 this edge is the fact that they kept releasing patches, but the game was already fucking good.
Yeah, exactly. It's an
They
all time
they didn't
great
have
game.
they didn't have to do shit. They really just they were like, oh, they just announced they're making more free classes and more additional content to the game. And it's like, okay,
It's
free
ridiculous.
patches for a game that doesn't need patches. And I think that's why, I mean, that's probably the more logical reason, but let's be real. People will love the Baldur's Gate 3 community, so that was just going to win.
Oh
Probably
yeah,
off that.
that's fair.
And the next category is the best independent game. I'll just list out the competition and I'll let you speak on the winner. Anima Well, Animal Well, good old Donkey's game. Lorelei and Laser Eyes, never heard of it. Neva and UFO 50 sounds like Uno and Balatro.
Yeah, this this is where I thrived because I know every single game on this list.
Oh fuck. Okay, you got this. I
Animal Well,
predicted this right. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah, Animal Well is a pixel graphic Metroidvania that has, which unfortunately is my least favorite, one of my least favorite genres of games. I don't like going back and then coming back with a new thing to unlock a door. I don't really rock with that shit. But what I do rock with is just about every other game on here outside of Lorelei and the Laser Eyes. So I do like platformers a lot. Animal Well is a very well made game. Donkey did his thing. I watched plenty of gameplay on it. It's actually got some pretty exciting elements. Story is pretty cool. It's told through gameplay. L'Oreal and the Laser Eyes is actually a investigative, like crime game. It looks weird. It's a puzzle game as well, but it's kind of cool. Like I gotta give it to him. The design of it is really cool. Like everything is black and white. Got this no was it Nor Nior? I forget.
Noir,
Yeah, it's Noir.
Noir,
Yeah, Noir. There
Noir.
we go.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm saying the accent part right, wrong. But it has a really nice noir aesthetic where like the red eyes and like there's things that are highlighted in red. It looks cool. It's done great with IGN and reviewers. I just don't care about it. Uh, Going off to the next game, Never. You heard me play it. It's one of the best stories I played this year. It will make it into my all-time top 25 probably by the end of
Yeah.
this year or the beginning of next year. It also has combat that I like. Clap it up for that. UFO 50 is freaking cool. I didn't get to buy it. I want to. It's just like going to an arcade and being able to play a huge collection of all these games that reference older titles that you know and love, but they're all in like this SNES aesthetic, and they're not those
Oh, okay.
characters anymore. But
That's kind of cool.
it's also like a huge party game. So what you do is you have to play each game in order to unlock the next one. You have to play one in order to unlock two, blah blah blah, so on and so forth.
Okay.
Um, I think, or you can just do it around the other way, where you can just skip through and you can just play whichever one you want. But
That's fair.
it's great for co-op. It's also great if you want to play solo. I want this game, and I probably should have put it on my Christmas wish list. I am going to do that right now because how the hell did I forget? But
All right.
really
Well,
cool.
let's hear. Okay. Well, what do you think about Balatro? Do you think it
Oh my god,
deserved?
Balatro is one of the single-handedly one of the greatest video games of all time, and I will not back down from that statement. It is easily one of the coolest and most innovative games that has come out in gaming. And for somebody that doesn't like roguelikes, this made me love just about everything you could about roguelikes. And also, I love poker. If you like playing card games at all, get this game. If you don't like card games at all, get the freaking game. If you don't like roguelikes, get the freaking game. It will change your mind about all of it. I promise you. There is not the elements come together so well that you'll love it. And if you just really have no interest in it, I will say, please give UFO 50 a chance. Neva is an outstanding game, but UFO 50 will please just about every audience. It's really worth it. This year's indies were incredible.
Yeah. No. This you kind of hit the nail on this one, so I don't have too much to add on this one. I love Balatro. That's the only one I've played on this list.
It's fucking
Um,
dope.
and it's just it's really fun. It's a really fun game.
Yeah.
It's challenging. It's fun. It's creative. A game is just supposed to be fun. You don't have to hit Diamond 5, Master Rank, Grandmaster, Flex. It's just fun.
But
It's
Balatro
just
makes you
super
want to
fun.
do it, and that's the insane part.
Yeah, it does. Well, I, I'm just happy to be on Beat Basic, but yes, I see the gold state grinds.
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
it's yeah, no. Considering this was made by one guy who, fun fact, was like, oh, promised his publisher, like, yeah, I'll have 120 Jokers, and the publisher misheard 150, and he's just like, fuck, I just gotta come up with 30 Jokers for randomly. Like the trousers, by the way, the trousers Joker,
Yeah,
that's part of the 30.
that's one of
And
the that's the
and I
crazy
would say
part,
that's a pretty integral card to a lot of people's
bro.
games.
That That goddamn Joker is so. You want to know what something that's crazy is? I actually didn't come across any of those 30 Jokers he was talking about for a very long time. Like I know what some of those Jokers are, and there's some that I still have not discovered in game at all. And it's
Yeah.
crazy because I'm just looking. I'm just like, God damn! I really played 200 hours of this game. There's still Jokers I've never seen. But yeah, that keeps you coming back.
Yeah, it was a really good game. I will say best indie game and best debut indie game. Very funny that these are two different categories. But I
Yeah,
guess you know what? You can have an independent studio release a game, and not be their first game. So this
right.
makes sense.
And
Um,
boy, oh
but
boy.
I mean, this was, I'll just say this, the competition outside of uh, Animal, Animal Well, what is it? Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, Plucky Squire, and Balatro. I'm
All right,
gonna
so
say now, Manor Lords doesn't deserve it.
yeah.
My part in this is brief. I played Manor Lords, my kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not finished. It's not even close to finish. So it didn't really deserve it. Pacific Drive, never played it. The Plucky Squire, while cool, and I got to see you play it. I think it is even lower than Animal Well on how many people probably enjoyed it.
I could see that.
I,
Honestly,
I
looking at the
think,
reviews, it reflects.
yeah, I think it's a cool game. I actually really like the cool ideas, but I mean, Balatro was kind of sweet.
Oh
It
yeah,
did.
for sure.
I don't.
Uh, and I'll keep my contributions to this pretty short because I think all of these games are cool and you should check out all of them. Yes, even Man of Lords. Of course I didn't play it. I'm never gonna play it. But
I'll tell you, as someone played it, don't worry.
yeah, okay, beautiful.
Yeah, we could be a hater. We could be a hater because
Okay,
no, it's not finished. When it is finished, 100%. Really cool system. That's all.
okay. That's awesome. That's good enough for me. But we already talked about Animal Well. I'm not gonna double back on that. We have to be aware of runtimes for these episodes. Pacific Drive is a cool game, but once again, it's a goddamn roguelike. So of course I wasn't gonna speak too highly of it. But also from what I've heard is like there's a few glitches and things to worry about. Um it is an open world like driving game where like you have to keep this car together, but also make it across this world, and the world is like all sci-fi and cryptic and all that stuff. It looks cool. I didn't play it because I just when I heard that it had roguelike elements, I was like, count me out. I'm already playing one. Plucky Squire is in my top 3 games that I played this year. No, top five, top five, top five. Metaphor kind of bumped it out of the top 3 spot, I believe. And that, honestly, that come on, man. I just told you Balatro is one of the greatest games of all time. Let's not even go there. But that's it for the
Yeah.
debut indies. Also, I do now when I say this, it's maybe a slightly hot take, but not really. I don't think the Plucky Squire should have been nominated because it was published by Digital Devolver or Devolver Games. I don't know how people feel about it being published by a non-indie studio. I mean, they are an indie studio, but that's not Devolver's first game ever. So I did feel weird about that. It wasn't even their first game this year. It's actually Puggy Squire was like one of the most hyped up games to come out this year from Devolver. But I get it. The creator wasn't, but Devolver did all of the marketing for the game, so it felt like it was a Devolver game. That kind of watered down the nomination for me, but it is what it is. I'll accept it.
Yeah. And we all knew there was only gonna be one winner.
Yeah. Oh, for
Oh,
sure. That's why I wasn't even
yeah.
really worried about it. It was like there's only one winner.
And this next category is funny.
Yeah, this one I ain't even
Best
gonna
mo best mobile
speak.
game. If you've played mobile games, you know they're pretty shit, to be honest with you. They're something you play when you go in the bathroom or go in the bathroom and sit on the toilet, you're taking a dump, and you've got nothing to do and you pull up a mobile game. That's when you play these.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're in bed because you don't want to sit on the couch and play on your PlayStation, or you don't want to play on your computer. You're in bed, maybe you watch some Netflix, and now you're like, oh, I'll play a mobile game. It's an afterthought. Um, so with that in mind, the nominations are AFK Journey. The name AFK is in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Pokemon trading card game Pocket, which I mean trading card game, not the actual Pokemon. Wuthering Waves sounds cool. Sounds like a lot of microtransactions in there. And Zenless Zone Zero. This sounds like something where they try to sell you waifus.
It
Never played
is.
either of those last two. I literally have never looked at that game.
The funny thing is that you knew that without even looking it up. Yes, you're absolutely
It's
correct. It is the one where they
it's
try to sell you waifus.
it sounds too anime-ish, which means there's gonna be some big titty women that they're trying to sell you, and that's just what it is.
Honestly,
And then there's
that's pretty much Wuthering Waves too. But
also sounded a little anime-ish. Wasn't too sure. Definitely clocked Zenless though. Zenless, come on. Uh, and then there's Balatro. For me,
exactly.
I'll say this: Balatro is the only game on this you'll actually pick up your phone and be like, "I want to play this game," and you're not sitting on the toilet.
Yeah, you will
And
pick.
to me, that's it. That's all you need.
You will pick up
But
Balatro
yeah,
over playing. There's a lot of times where I will pick up Balatro on my phone rather than going into my office to turn on my PC. And it's not even
yeah.
grant. And let y'all know, Balatro is, yes, it is my game of the year, but it's not even the game that I think about playing the most throughout the day. I want to play Metaphor so much more, so bad. And then I think about, well, what if my son wakes up? What if I miss out on a cutscene? What if I miss blah blah blah? And then I play Balatro, and then the same amount of time will pass, and I regret nothing. Balatro is an easy winner there.
Yeah. Yeah, when phone games are having you choose, like you play phone games or your console or your PC, they should win. Because let's be real, even though phone games bring in the most money out of all games in the world, we know it's just people bored on microtransactions. It's a volume based thing. It's just because there's so many people
Yeah.
on phones. It's not because of the quality. So the fact that this is a good quality game on phones, pretty crazy.
Matter of fact,
Uh,
I'm gonna install Wuthering Waves. We're gonna check this game out. I mean, I know it's gonna be the waifus, but
oh yeah, no microtransactions. You buy the game and it's done. Really controversial for uh, a phone game to be like, here's our product and our price, and we're not going to charge you more because a lot of people are not used to that, and they think that a lot of companies, not people, companies will say, "Well, it'll affect our bottom line if we don't get them hooked and have all these microtransactions." This guy's an indie developer.
mm-hmm.
He's not here for his fucking bottom line. He's not trying to screw you over. So he just said it's $9.99, one of the highest like cost games on Apple Store, and it still sold. It's top
Yeah.
seller, beating out Minecraft. This game beat Minecraft in sales. So maybe
Wild.
maybe some companies can learn
It's so
something about not
wild.
chasing the bottom dollar. Yeah, absolutely insane. Um, so yeah, this was a clear one.
That was a clear one.
Uh, Best VR AR game is up next. I'll be honest, I am not keeping up with the scene at all. So I chose the winner, but that's just because I know the series
Yeah.
and the IP.
Uh, the only
Um,
the only three I knew about was Arizona Sunshine Remake, Batman Arkham Shadows, which won, and Metro Awakening. I watched videos on all five. I literally thought most of them were boring outside of Hellsing VR and Batman, and I chose Batman to win, and I also voted for Batman.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not spending like no time on this one because I don't care.
yeah. Let's be real. If you have an AR VR, you have a very short amount of games you can play. I have a Quest. Uh, there's not many games to play, but my Quest is so old. I don't even know if I can run Batman Arkham Shadow.
Damn.
It's yeah. I mean, technology is still getting better, but people say this one is a good one. So trust the people on this one, y'all. I
Yeah,
don't know. Best action
exactly.
game.
Whew, this one, your boy is happy because not only did I predict this one to be, I predicted this before I knew the nominees, and this was actually on a phone call. I believe I was talking to Black Stripe Prism. So the nominees: Black Ops 6. Oh Lord, Kim's now playing
Whatever.
Balatro.
Yes. Yeah, she's
It's
on it now.
hilarious. Black Ops 6,
Uh,
Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, Warhammer 40,000, Space Marine 2, and Black Myth Wukong. Uh, I'll keep this one kind of short because I want you to be able to speak as well. People have seen me play Black Myth Wukong before Balatro really hit deep, and before Plucky Squire came out. This was my game of the year. And after getting past chapter 2, which y'all, whoever watches me stream, you saw me play for 4 hours and just completely get dogged. And then you saw the next stream where I didn't even play the game. I showed everyone a clip of me beating the boss, and I did it in 2 tries. And when I broke down what parts I was missing and like all that good stuff, like the little nuances, I was like, these are the things that piss me off about the game. It's still a really good game. It's easily the best action game out of everything listed, even though Helldivers 2 was on here, and I think Helldivers 2 was one of my favorite games this year as well. Stellar Blade is kind of a run of the mill Devil May Cry like game, and I don't mean it as an insult, but it is what it is. Warhammer
Yeah,
40,000 Space Marine 2 was fun, has one of the shortest stories I've ever played in my entire life, but
yeah,
also the movement of the soldiers is kind of stiff compared to Helldivers. So if you play one, it's not like if you play one, you play them all. But if you play both of them, you will kind of favor Helldivers 2 for longevity. Like you'll most likely turn that one back on and come to that before you come back to Warhammer. Unless you get to unlock a lot of stuff in Warhammer, then you'll definitely come back to it. Also, no variety of enemies, which makes Warhammer a little bit less likely to come back to. Black Ops 6 literally
yeah,
just came out. Like that, I don't even see how it got nominated, but I knew it wasn't going to win anything because it literally just came out. So, without those, those patches and stuff that you really need to make a game like that pop, it's
yeah,
cool. I mean, but it's also just Black Ops.
yeah. I'll be honest. Kind of, I guess there's no real first person shooter category in here, so I guess it goes in here. But yeah, I'm not shocked Black Ops didn't win.
Yeah.
Uh, Based on just numbers alone, I know everyone thinks like I'm a big Warhammer 40K fan, but I'm in an echo chamber. I know the most wishlisted and bought game in the world was Black Myth Wukong.
Oh, yeah.
There was no doubt that that was going to win, and it's a good game. Yeah, there are some things. It's not like maybe like the best action game of all time, but like this is a really good game, and the games it's against are just good games.
Yeah.
Warhammer 40K horde shooter. Only so many times you can play it. Black Ops 6, it's Call of Duty. We've seen Call of Duty before. Helldivers 2, really, it's a good game. Not really, really good. Stellar Blade, probably the anime. The anime probably didn't help it. And it is a Devil May Cry kind of remake, so I agree.
Yeah.
I think this was pretty clear.
That
Based just
one,
on like
yeah, that
sales
one,
metrics.
exactly. That one is like one of the most forward categories. It's not a surprise.
Yeah.
Also, the Golden Joystick gave them Game of the Year. I figured that they would at least win a category somewhere.
Yeah, no, this makes sense. And then I guess let's see the next
Action
thing.
Adventure. Oh, this is easy.
Accident. I think, yeah, I feel like this one, yeah, the competition wasn't gonna beat the winner here, but
Hell no.
this is more your category, so I'll let you talk on this one.
Yeah, Action Adventure is pretty easy to go through. You got Silent Hill 2, Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom. So, Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, top down dungeon crawler, the old Zeldas that y'all remember, except this time you're actually playing as Zelda and not Link. So nice twist on that. Very well made game. I would say if this was a year that wasn't as stacked as it was for games, like later in the like last couple quarters, it could have won this category. No offense to it. Silent Hill 2, once again, it's a remake. Just throw it out. Prince of
Yeah,
Persia: Lost Crown, very fun, but also they
no, no audience.
yeah, the Prince of Persia had a low audience, and also with that Metroidvania element, it kind of kept it from being the best because it tended to get redundant. Star Wars Outlaw didn't even deserve to be nominated. I'll be honest, Plucky Squire should have taken this nomination. Star Wars had a broken mechanic for stealth for a game surrounding stealth with a focus on stealth. So that just washed. completely washed. I'm actually more upset that there wasn't a nomination night Never or Plucky Squire instead of this. Astrobot is the winner. It's the best game of the year. Why would it not win the category that it basically belongs in?
Yeah. I'm I'm gonna say there could have been a different nomination than for the Star Wars Outlaws, but kind of seems like an industry plant on that one. Uh,
True that.
but yeah, I mean, Game of the Year is gonna win its second category.
Right.
I mean, there's not much for me to say besides that. And I don't really know these games so well, so I'm gonna take your word on it. Others like the Zelda game, the Outlaws game. I don't really know much, but yeah, I'm not voting for a remake either. So I was never gonna vote for Silent Hill 2.
True.
And Prince of Persia didn't know it was like Metrovania, but
Yeah, it's like the old school. It's like the original Prince of Persia, not the Sands of Time that we know.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, I got to go with you on this one. Astrobot is gonna win this. Next is best RPG. I have played most of these games or watched most of these games, and yeah, to me this was a pretty easy one.
Same.
Um, Dragon's Dogma 2, pretty mid,
Yeah.
not
It
bad, but pretty fucking mid.
it is
Like,
it is a 6 out of 10 game trapped in an eight and a
yeah,
half out of 10 body. It has
yeah,
everything to be a much better game. It could have potentially steamrolled a lot of these games and not only won best RPG, but could have been nominated for Game of the Year if it didn't suck at some of the part, like it being great. It sucks at being
yeah.
great. It's good at being cool.
Yeah, I think there are a few things that RPGs, it has too many classic RPG elements, which I feel like fans nowadays realize that games aren't a job. Like, we don't need inventory weight limits unless it's a survival crafting game. We don't want to have to grind forever unless it's like a heavy emphasis on grinding. Like Diablo 4 is all about grinding. This is not about that.
And I
So,
don't want
but
my pawns to die with fucking mission items. Boy, that shit pissed me off. That was
yeah,
probably the worst
the
thing.
the pawn system and items, honest to God, the items and the pawns, truly the item management makes like legitimately knocks off a whole 10%. Like, it goes from a 7 to a 6 just for item management. And then there's
Yeah.
some other things. So super mid game. Uh it's good. Yeah, it's mid. It's mid.
Yeah.
Elden Ring Shadow Erdtree, it's a DLC. I also don't really get RPG aspects from it. It's more of an action game to me. But so this is weird. I loved Erdtree a fuckload, and I wouldn't vote for this in this category. It's not correct to me to put that there. Same thing with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I guess I'm leaning towards more JRPG style versus normal RPGs, but
Yeah.
these games are action games. The RPG element is like almost second to none. Like in FF7, if you just know how to dodge and hit things, you're gonna win. It doesn't matter your level. That's like Dark Souls 101 too. If you can hit it, you can win.
I
Doesn't matter
would.
your level. So these two shouldn't win. Like a Dragon, pretty great, more actiony. And then Metaphor is like the most RPG in the most RPG traditional sense. So
Yeah. I can't say
it
at
was
least those two are
my game of the
similar.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the last two. It was either Like a Dragon or Metaphor. The other three are really weird to put in here.
Yeah.
So
I'm in full agreement. Metaphor was gonna win it regardless, but it had my full
yeah,
support. It was my early prediction. It got my vote. The only thing that I said other than that was it would be nice for Like a Dragon to get some more recognition, but it's in tough categories. It's in all the
it's in
wrong
some
categories.
really tough category.
It's like as soon as you see Like a Dragon, you're like, yeah, and then right after there's Metaphor. So yeah.
Yeah, there needs to. Yeah, yeah, it's got some tough competition.
Mm-hmm.
I think had Metaphor not come out, it probably would have won this.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
for sure. I
um,
think it definitely would have won the categories that it was in.
yeah, very similar. Both Japanese kind of like centric teams that made this and out of Japan. So yeah, they really killed it on the art and narrative and the stuff like that. But unfortunate. Um, but hey, I voted for Metaphor because it was my favorite game of the year. So fuck it.
Hell yeah.
Not too upset. Next, I'm gonna just be pissed at this one. Yeah, best fighting game. I'm gonna just say it, Tekken 8 won. Fuck King. Fuck anyone who plays King. And I'll let you talk about the rest.
That's right. Tekken 8 deserved it. It actually, so my unpopular opinion is that Black Myth Wukong should have actually not been nominated for Game of the Year, and Tekken 8 should have been in its place. And I know that's gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings that are those like anti woke gamers that like being pissed about anything that doesn't go their way. But I've played both games. I suck at Tekken 8. Tekken 8 is an incredible fighting game. It is technically sound. The patches are there. The updates are there. The balancing is there, except for King. and and overall,
Thank you.
it's a very very fun game. Multiverses won last year. Fuck you, Multiverses. You took it away from one of my favorite fighting games of all time, which is Street Fighter 6. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics shouldn't have been nominated. Throw that out. But there wasn't really much else that could have been nominated that was worthy, so whatever. We knew it wasn't gonna win. It was just filling a spot. Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising actually looks pretty cool. Has some Blaze Blue elements. Not a bad game, but not astounding in any way. And then there's Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. This game here is the Marvel Spider-Man 2 of basically of 2024. Now, some people argue and say that it's Black Myth Wukong. This to me is that game. This has no elements of being the best game in any category. Like, at least I can say Black Myth Wukong earned being the best action game. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is not the best fighting game. It's not even competent online. Offline is very fun, but it's pure nostalgia. It's a lot of hype. There's way too many characters. The balancing was shit. And now, after the awards and stuff have already passed, now they're putting out the patch that balances the game more. But guess what? You have 140 characters and only 30 of them are viable online. You wasted your own time developing those characters. And I get it. They wanted the balancing to be more like the show, but one area where Dragon Ball Fighters will always beat Sparking Zero is it's all around fun for anyone on any level of Dragon Ball fighting games. You don't have to love Dragon Ball in order to know Dragon Ball Fighters is a great game and get into it and play it and actually have a good time. With Sparking Zero, I played it. The learning curve is kind of steep. Some of the mechanics are broken, and half the characters that you think, like, if you only watch Dragon Ball and you wanted to just play with Dragon Ball characters, you're gonna lose every single fight every single time, unless you're extremely good and you're playing somebody that sucks. Tekken 8 for the win. You deserved
Yeah, I hate King players, and I
it.
don't play many fighting games because I always lose. But even
Yeah,
I knew Tekken 8 was a really good game, and a lot of people were saying it's probably one of the best fighting games of all time. Who
it
played
is.
Tekken and played Street Fighter? Some of those people who like have been playing for a long time has said this is probably one of the best ones. So for me, it kind of makes sense that it won. But yeah, I've
It,
seen the same stuff for Sparking Zero.
bro. I don't even
Play
play.
Instinct.
I don't even play Tekken. I don't. When anybody asks what's my least favorite type of fighting game, it's always Tekken. I bought it and I love it. I just really bad at it.
No, same. I played some of the older Tekkens, and I played them for very, very, very little time. It's shocking how, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's shocking. I played Tekken 8 as long as I did. Um, but no, that's best fighting game. If you play King, I hate you. Same thing if you play Warang or whatever. Don't like that guy either. There's a lot of characters I don't like, so let's just move on.
Best.
No, best family game. Nope,
Yeah.
nope, nope. I'm done with Tekken. Best family game.
All right. We
Uh,
got Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom once again. The Plucky Squire gets another nomination. Princess Peach Showtime, and then, of course, Astrobot. Once again, Game of the Year does not lose the categories that it's in. Astrobot was the clear winner. Astrobot had. This was a layup. This, this was a wide open layup for Astrobot. Once again, Echoes of Wisdom, great game. Not matching up to Astrobot. Princess Peach Showtime, mid. Super Mario Party Jamboree has the same issues that it's always had. It's never about being good at the game, it's always about RNG. And the Plucky Squire, though with its flaws, I will say was probably the second best. Nah, it's tied for second best game in this category. I don't really have much to add. Astrobot's the winner, game of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't have anything else to add to. You can play with your kids, but anyone can play it, old, young. It's gonna win.
True,
It's family friendly, and it's game of the year.
absolutely.
Uh, Best sim strategy game. Ooh,
Mm.
wow! Look at my category. People actually care about this shit. Jesus.
This might be short. I'll go through it first. The nominees are Frostpunk 2, Asian Mythology Retold, Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord. I voted for Unicorn Overlord. I told everybody Frostpunk 2 was going to win, even though it seemed like it was just more Frostpunk 1. But the response to the game being released and how well it was received was exactly why I won. I don't know shit else about this game.
I, I'll be honest. I play so many sim strategy games, but this is gonna sound super hipster. I play so many good sim strategy games that you guys just wouldn't know about. You put on my hipster glasses, and I unironically sometimes mean that. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna say that unironically a little bit. So, um, yeah, Frostpunk 2 winning this is kind of weird as shit. It's purely because Frostpunk 1 is good because Frostpunk 2 is just more Frostpunk, and it's not that different. Which is, kind of what you want. It's like, oh, I want the same game, but like you're like, oh, can I get a twist? And they're like, nah, it's the same game. It's
That's
like Iron
hilarious.
Man 1 and 2. You get more Iron Man. What do you want? It's fucking Iron Man. Origin story's over. You thought you wanted something else just as good? No. You're just getting more Iron Man. So that's just Frostpunk 2. It's kind of like any Marvel movie. The origin story is always the best movie. And then you're like, wow, it's kind of just the same guy. It's like, yeah, Iron Man in 2 and 3 or Thor in 2 and 3. It's all kind of the same. It's just him.
That makes
No more
sense.
coming of age. But people love it. And so that's why I won. Age of Mythology. I looked into it, didn't look that good.
It did not.
These Path of Goddess game, this sounds like some anime weeaboo game.
I
Could be
put
good.
so I played it. It's based on a lot of Chinese, I believe, Japanese folklore. I'm sorry if I got it wrong. I don't mean to offend anybody's cultures. When I played it, I thought it was cool and it was everything I did not want in the video game. Outside of being able to, when you build up your tower defense, you can get down on the ground and like actually fight the
Oh,
demons.
got it.
It,
It's a
it
tower defense game.
it's kind of a tower defense. It's a tower
Oh,
defense
I'm so
action.
glad this didn't win.
It's a tower defense action game. So like you literally are fighting third person on the ground.
Yeah,
Like yeah, it's cool in concept. I just didn't have fun with it. But I
they're
also
not the first to do that either.
yeah, they're not. But I would say the culture and stuff that was added to it made it better.
I said no, yeah, yeah, Chinese or Japanese for I don't know anything about the game. That can definitely add to the game. Manor Lords I played like 50 hours of. Confidently say game's not finished, so yeah, don't bother with that one. It is
Yeah.
fun for the first 30 hours, 20 hours, but you're like, wow, this is really unpolished. Unicorn Overlord. I
it
never played it, but that sounds like it's not a sim strategy game. So
No,
this
it
seems like a
is. It's so much closer to Fire Emblem than you think. It looks like Octopath
um,
Traveler with Fire Emblem gameplay. It
what a tragedy.
everything about it appeals to me except for it being a sim strategy game.
What an absolute tragedy that lost to a remake, essentially,
Yeah.
based on name. That's
Unicorn
all I
o-
have to say.
Also Unicorn Overlord is like I think it's in like the top 20 reviewed games this year. It was
Yeah.
very well received. To a point where I was getting recommended it and I was like, bro, that's just not my type of game. And everybody was like, aesthetically though, it looks like your game. And I was like, yes, it does. But it's far from my type of game.
Yeah, no. In that case, I am kind of sad I didn't win.
Yeah.
But
I kind of wish you played it. I really wanted somebody that had more insight on this genre of games than me to play it. But it's just not my type of game.
yeah, no, I'm looking at pictures. It does look good, but I mean, sim strategy game. People don't know. This is a category that kind of gets neglected. So I think some people probably just voted Frostpunk just because of the name
Yeah.
recognition, which is very fair. I'll have to check out the Unicorn game. Next category people actually care about less.
Nah,
In the
for real.
previous category, best sports and racing. They don't even get a separate category. That's how little they care.
Yeah,
Sports
it's weird
and
because
racing.
they should just say best sports. Like racing is a sport. I don't know why they didn't. Whatever. I don't know why they added the extra
And
language.
there's so many racing games, and for sports, there can only be so many.
True.
Like, there's only so many sports in the world. So you can't, if you make it too different, it's just a game at that point. It's like Balatro is not poker. You can't call it a sports game. So this category is weird to me, but I don't really want to spend too much time on it. NBA 2K is on here, Top Spin's on here, WWE, F1, and EA Sports, FC 25. Don't know what that is.
A soccer buddy.
Oh,
Yeah, this is
football club.
FIFA had to FIFA license expired for EA, so instead of renewing it, they renamed to FC.
Oh, if that's FIFA for all intents and purposes, well, I can see why that one.
Oh yeah,
And that's all I have to say.
same.
It's the most, hey, the most popular sport in the world in real life won the sports award. That's
Exactly.
based on popularity votes. So I
I
have nothing else to say.
exactly. I voted for WWE 2K24 and gave the middle finger to this entire category because I knew it wasn't going to win. But yeah, your reasoning was the exact same as mine. I think I actually didn't pick a winner because I didn't care. But we all knew it was going to be FC 25.
Yeah. 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 That's it. FIFA wins.
Yeah.
Shocked. This was actually kind of shocking. The next one, best multiplayer game. COD, Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Jamboree, uh, Tekken 8, and Warhammer Space Marine.
This didn't
Ooh,
surprise me at all because that launch was so huge and the community is so great with one another. I knew Helldivers 2 would win. I wasn't even willing to listen to any competition. Black Ops 6 came out too late. Warhammer just is pick up and put down. Um, Tekken 8, though it is a great game and a great multiplayer game and has that Evo push, there is still some connectivity issues. And Super Mario Party Jamboree, let's be real, nobody plays that shit online. If your friends can't come over, which a lot of you losers don't have friends, if nobody's coming over to play the game with you, nobody's playing the game. Helldivers 2 was kind of the easy pick, to be honest.
rather you can saw our audience because we can fit into that.
I can,
don't become fellow gamers like that. Jeez.
I know we're close to it, but we're not there. So I still get to pop my shit for a little bit.
Oh shit. Okay, well, I'll just say this: I'm shocked just because Black Ops 6 is one of the most played games. That's the only reason I was shocked.
Yeah, that's
Hell,
fair.
obviously launch was huge, but I just expect Call of Duty to always win this. So I was just shocked, to be honest with you. I didn't really have a bone in this fight or whatever.
I feel you.
Um, this to me feels like a robbery for the next category. I didn't watch. Okay, next category is best adaptation. Kind of weird, but Tomb Raider, The Legend of Lara Croft, Like a Dragon, Yakuza, Knuckles, Fallout, and Arcane. I feel this was a robbery. I didn't watch Fallout.
I know you didn't. That's why you said that.
I don't give a fuck. Arcane should have won. Yeah, I don't care. If someone could fight me on it.
Yeah,
Someone's
that's
telling me,
fine.
oh, Fallout. Oh, I don't give a shit about these people in the vault.
Yeah, see, that's the difference. It said best. It didn't say your favorite.
Brother, I don't care about you know what? You know what? No, it's not. No, there's no logical reason Fallout should have won this.
uh,
There's
that's
none.
that's funny. I
There's none.
I not only guessed it, I voted for it because it's
Fucking tragic
really
that you're
fucking
wrong.
good.
No.
It's a fantastic show, and you wanna know what actually one of the reasons why I won is because the show is much better than the past two games.
That's kind of my fucking point.
But only the past two games. It's really on par with everything else we've seen so far from what people have wanted from Fallout. It executes the environment so well. The characters are well made. The lead she's a fantastic actor. Even the the enemies and stuff that show up, top tier. It really, honestly, I said it was a two. I said it was a two show race. It was Fallout and Arcane. I knew Fallout would win because Fallout was so good that it caused a resurgence in all of the games. There are more people playing Fallout 4 now than have since. There are more people playing Fallout 4 now since launch than ever before. And I think it's because that adaptation went together so well that people had to go play in this world. And there's even like a better reception for Fallout 4 as a game. It made me download Fallout 76, and that game sucks.
It does. So
That
that's
game is
fair.
ass. We were at one point we were gonna stream that, and I was like, nah, never mind, man. You can delete it.
Yeah, it's not very good.
But yeah, honestly, this I will say this category though is easily one of the best. Like this is one of the most stacked categories out of all of the categories we've had. Best adaptation actually has five nominees that could have won because they all have executed on what they were supposed to do well. It's just that two of them stood out head and shoulders above the rest as far as reception and quality. And I think all of them are very quality, but reception wise, nothing's such an Arcane and Fallout.
I'll say this. I mean, yeah, they gotta execute well because a lot of money into those.
Oh
You
yeah,
make
of
shitty
course.
games and still make money. It's hard to make shitty shows and not get flamed. I guess it's true for games too, but I don't know. Usually, TV crews and production crews are usually pretty good about hitting their mark.
Oh
More
yeah.
so than video game companies. It feels a lot more predictable. But you know what? Yeah. You know what? Sure. I guess. I don't care. I don't care.
Sound like a care guy.
Whatever. I'm a hater. I hate on everything but Arcane. But anyway, moving on from that
Yeah.
category. That's weird. Most anticipated game.
I'm not even going over the fucking nominees. Of course, it's Grand Theft Auto 6. Get the fuck out of here.
If you haven't been on the
The
internet for the
thing that
last
made
like
the
50
thing
million years.
exactly the thing that pissed me off is that like Monster Hunter Wilds was on here. By the way, very excited for the game. It comes out in February, bro. Like these other games don't even have like a release date. So of course Monster Hunter wasn't gonna win. But then again, when you put, let's say we take Grand Theft Auto 6 off of here, it's easily Metroid Prime 4. Why? Because it's an IP that hasn't had a new game pretty much as long as Grand Theft Auto 5 hasn't had another game. There was no way. This was the most biased category. It's like, who's the best 3-point shooter in the game? It's just like, is it Steph Curry? Is it Shaq? Is it Anthony Richardson? Like you just be like, what? Why did you? Of course it's Steph. Who else do you? Is it Austin Reeves? And you be like, what the fuck? Can we stop now? We stole Steph a long time ago.
NBA. We
That,
got NBA 3-point comparisons to games before GTA 6.
hey,
Crazy.
you'll get a lot more.
If we got X before GTA 6, we got
Yeah,
this before GTA. I
that
mean, come on.
that whole thing.
This is silly.
Yeah,
This is
it's
silly.
fucking dumb. That
I
shouldn't even.
voted for GTA 6 because I was like, the meme must continue.
I voted for GTA 6, and the game that I want to play the most isn't GTA 6.
Come
Like
on, it's got a cult. You gotta buy
exactly.
into it.
I'm gonna buy the
Sip the
game.
juice.
I don't even like, bro. I already know. I'm not gonna play it online. Fuck that. But I'm gonna play GTA 6.
Yeah, brother. Oh man, I will move on because one, the runtime, but two, also, come on, we all know GTA 6.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's knock out these last ones. We got content creator of the year. I don't know anyone on here but the winner. So I voted for Queso.
Hell yeah, I voted for Queso. The only other person I
No.
know is Typical Gamer, and I was just like, you know what? I genuinely don't like your name, and I felt bad because that was like one of the main reasons I voted for Queso. I was like, first of all, Queso has made me laugh so
Yeah,
much.
Queso's some funny clips.
But I always tell people one of my absolute least favorite pieces of content to watch outside of what's that one thing? Damn, I forget the name of the game because I really don't like Dawn. Damn it, Dawn, not Dawn by Daylight.
Dog nabbit, dong diggity dongy, dag nabbit, donkey ass.
It's not Until
But
Dawn. Oh yeah, I know, but yeah,
what is your
instead of the
least
horror,
favorite form of
it's playing the major games like it's not Until Dawn. I'm gonna remember it at some point, but it doesn't matter. But Fortnite is like one of my least favorite games to watch ever. I do not like watching people play Fortnite. And Dead by Daylight, that's the name of the game. I don't like watching people play Dead by Daylight, and I do not like watching people stream Fortnite. To me, they are two of the most boring content games possible, and it's because most of the time the content creator themselves is like over the top or has to like do something, be extra. Typical gamer, very much so, has like the typical gamer thumbnails, has some of the like most typical content, and then like always complains about hackers and being scammed and does the unboxing. It's annoying. But Queso, you wanna know what about Queso? Queso is just a dude that looks like a lumberjack who's overweight from the middle of
cartoon?
Arkansas who does nothing but let people roast the absolute loving shit out of him and connects with his people by also making those jokes back or just really diving into that type of content. He is a real human being who isn't clout chasing, who isn't clickbait. Like he doesn't feel like clickbait. Everything about him seems like a genuine person, and then he just clips the content where people make fun of him, and I just love it. I love Queso's content. He's really good. I don't go out my way to watch him, but whenever he pops up, I'm there. Fuck everybody
Nah,
else.
yeah, I'm on the same boat.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know these guys, but Queso makes me fun. It's just funny.
Queso's just really entertaining and funny. It's nothing else to it.
Yeah. Oh man, three categories left, and I know you don't give a shit about any of these, so I'm excited. I can't. I don't even care, but I
So
do think it's funny.
it is funny because I did, for best esports game, Dota 2. You want to know what's funny? I don't even know what Dota stands for. Um,
Defense of the ass. It's all good, dude.
Dota 2, Counter Strike 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends, bang bang, and Valorant. The game that I
Okay.
wasn't going to vote for at all is Valorant because I hate Valorant. I don't think it's a fun game to watch. Anything with mobile in the name, automatically out. Um,
Yeah, it's just mobile league.
oh, that's what the fuck? Got nominated twice, basically. Um, Dota 2, I don't know what Dota 2 is, really. I know a lot of the nerd gamers out here are very upset. But yeah, I don't give a shit about that game. And it was between Counter Strike 2 and League of Legends. I went to I went with whichever one was more interesting to watch when I watched people play it. And it was League of Legends. Sold.
Yeah, you know what? If you're not really into these games, and that's how you felt, that makes sense. This one. Uh, yeah, Dota 2 is actually what League of Legends is based off of, which is Dota. It's very funny.
That
but
is hilarious.
uh, there's a whole thing. The history of Dota. Dota 1 is what the person who made Dota 1 is the head creative or lead director or whatever or was at League of Legends. He
That's
works with League of Legends.
crazy.
This happened in like 2010. But yeah, Dota was a MOBA. It was the first MOBA made by Ice Frog. This is the history lesson now, but the guy who made Dota, he made it as a custom game in Warcraft 3. Obviously, Blizzard's like, fuck you, you can't own the rights to that. He's like, okay, I'm gonna leave and go make my own, work with a company to make my own game. He goes and makes League of Legends with Riot. So, and
That's
then
beautiful.
yeah, no, so, and it's the most popular out of all of them. So, yeah, I voted League of Legends because, yeah, I mean, it just has a chokehold on the world. Like this game has been around forever, and it still has some of the biggest tournaments, the biggest teams, the biggest audience engagement. Pretty clear. Valorant is just a Counter Strike 2 copy, but with like hero powers, like Overwatch.
I was about to say with
But
Overwatch aesthetics.
yeah, but when you watch Valorant, you actually have no. As someone who doesn't play the game, you have no idea what's going on, like zero. Counter Strike 2, it's pretty straightforward, but it's too straightforward. It's kind of boring. It's
Hmm.
it's a shooter. If Shroud's on your team, you're gonna win. Dota 2, it's a worse League of Legends. Mobile Legends Bang Bang is a ripoff, a Chinese ripoff of League of Legends.
Oh,
so,
oh my
so
god,
that's really funny. um, but yeah, so League of Legends winning is not
expected.
shocking.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah. Um, yeah.
I also don't like
But
the Valorant community that much.
eh,
They're dicks.
I, that's fair. I mean, everyone is
Oh
community
yeah,
dick.
everyone in all those communities are terrible,
So
but the Valorant community is not just like gaming annoying. They take Valorant on as a personality trait, and
they do.
it's weird.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, they do take that as a personality trait. That's a good point. That is kind of weird. So, either way, I'm happy League of Legends won this though because it is the most entertaining to watch as someone who doesn't play any of these games anymore. I can watch a League of Legends game and be like, "That's cool." Also,
Yeah,
team games with different heroes, spectator, huge, makes sense. Um, Next, I actually know the winner and I voted for this person. I assume you have no idea who these people are for
the
best
so
esport
here's the funny
athlete.
thing is Faker is the only person that I've even heard of, and I voted for someone else because I think I like their name more. I think it was the ZMJJKK. I think I voted for him because I was like, that sounds fucking dumb. Just I was just like, that sounds ridiculous. You get my vote. What kind of weird ass name is that? But yeah, I know who Faker is. That's the only person that's actually one of the reasons why I voted for League of Legends.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
the correlation made
Uh,
sense.
yeah, it's funny because this is essentially a faker haul. This is a faker sweep. So yeah, esport athlete. We're not gonna go through these names. We don't know these people.
Yeah, we don't
I
know
don't
who
know.
this.
I knew Faker and I voted for Faker because he's a legend. Um, I can't even tell you what games they're playing. They put their real life name next to them, so I don't even know what games they play. I know Faker plays League. Uh, Moving on to best esports team. I bet you don't know any of these teams either.
So T1 was the only one I knew because of guess who?
Faker. Yep.
uh, I made fun of the Billy Billy Gaming. I think yeah, I made fun of Billy Billy Gaming. Once again, I don't like Dota. I don't like Counter Strike. I don't know who Dota. I don't know anything about Dota 2, so I wasn't gonna vote for Team Liquid. So yeah, I went with T. I think I went with T1. Did I go with T1? I
Yeah.
should have been. I should have voted
You.
for T1. If I didn't, then I made fun of the Billy Billy Gaming and voted for them. Which
It,
is it sounds like some dumb stuff I would do.
so I'll say this. Um, no one in the younger generation cares about Navi because Navi was a big deal in Dota a long time ago, but they've now switched. They're kind of everywhere. But
Oh, it's funny. I
um,
voted for Faker. Never mind.
yeah, I voted for T1. I knew T1 was going to win this. Not shocked that T1 won. As someone who's played way too many competitive online games, Team Liquid not winning this is Team Liquid was probably second because Team Liquid is in their parentheses they put Dota 2, but Team Liquid owns teams for like almost every competitive game.
Damn.
They were one of the first competitive games were like Quake, Halo, and StarCraft. And StarCraft was the biggest one like back in the day. It was huge in Korea and it became huge in the US too for competitiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Team Liquid pretty much spearheaded like their website. They put like together some of the first esports teams. They sponsored them. They were part of that like OG group that's like we're gonna sponsor and support gamers and become esports team.
Oh, sweet.
So they have notoriety in that sense that like they've been around like forever and they still employ people and stuff like that. Like there's a Team Liquid team for World of Warcraft.
Damn.
There's a Team Liquid team for obviously Dota 2. There's one for Counter Strike. There's one for StarCraft. These guys are pretty huge, but I mean, as far as like fan favorite, T1 is only about League of Legends because T1 has Faker and people love Faker, so kind of expected they would win. But that's kind of a cool history thing. Team Liquid is like actually really cool because they do help with the esports scene. They're like big proponents of it.
That's
The
pretty
rest of
dope.
these teams, I don't know too well. They may be like T1. I don't know if that's the same Navi that I'm thinking of. The Navi I'm thinking of was a Ukrainian team that used to play Dota back in the day, but it could be different. But Team
Nah.
Liquid's huge. Check them out. T1 is cool, but this was just a faker. I mean, honestly, they could have just wrote faker for all three of these.
So the I did guess the Faker sweep right on the other episode. I literally said if it's league, it's probably gonna win. and I just
Hey,
and I like put a circle around T1 and not only voted for them, but I said they would win too. So of the weird thing is the one that I got wrong is the category I expected to get right, which is crazy.
no, I definitely got way more of these wrong than I thought I would, but the props to you.
Appreciate it.
This is yeah, no, all around. I would say my final thoughts on the Game Awards. Happy it's happening. Um, One of my favorite games won a bunch of awards, so get bent anyone whose game didn't win. I
Same.
loved it. I
Both
love the Game Awards.
two of my favorite games won, and pretty much every game that I played that I enjoyed won except for Plucky Squire because it was in the worst categories possible. It was like, oh, I got a chance. Oh, it's Balatro. Oh, I got a chance. Oh, it's Astrobot.
Yeah, yeah. It and if your favorite game didn't win, hey, don't be like last time where they're like, oh my god, Spider-Man didn't sweep the whole competition.
Yeah, Spider Man did not
Take this
deserve a single
opportunity.
thing.
Yeah, take this opportunity to go try some new games. If you actually like games, this is great. Because if you've never heard of these games, they are winners for a reason. Like
Exactly.
if you care about your score and music, play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Pause that bitch and just listen to the soundtrack if you want. Do it. I don't know, but
This is exactly why I tell people that like if you really love gaming, don't let one. This is the reason why I actually accept these game awards being fairly serious and like actually taking them for what they are. A lot of people are just like, oh, I don't like game awards. They don't matter. They matter. Not only do they matter to the people that you know that not only do they matter to the people that are making these games, but gamers like you actually care, and gamers like you meaning the public, gamers like you actually care more about games that actually have the reception that you would want, and they do a great job at getting the attention of these award shows and getting awarded. But play everything that's nominated. These games are really good. Don't go watch every content creator though. That's so much. You got so much more grass to touch than that. Yeah, it's not. It's
so,
not worth it. But yeah, other than that, you know, shout out to the Game Awards. They did a great job. For all the people that continue to hate on them and tell them that they're doing too much or their game didn't win, so they suck. Screw them.
I'm with you on that one. But I think with that, I think we covered the Game Awards. I think in the next episode we'll probably go over the trailers because there are also some great trailers. And if you haven't seen the trailers, check out those. We'll go
Yep,
over them too on the podcast. But they also have some cool visuals with them, which we'll also talk about later.
absolutely. So until then, Sean to Speak Easy. We out.